Okay, so today we're diving deep into a book that's been around forever, I feel like. I mean, who hasn't heard of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, Roald Dahl classic.
Totally. But we're not just going to rehash the plot, though. Like, everyone knows about the Chocolate River and the Oompa Loompas, right?
Right.
We're going deeper. We're going to look at what makes this story tick, like why it's still so popular after all these years.
I'm in.
So we'll be digging into those awesome, sometimes kind of messed up characters.
Some of them are a bit rough around the edges, yeah.
For sure. And we'll trace the whole adventure through the factory, all the crazy stuff that happens. But most importantly, we'll talk about the big themes, those lessons Dahl was sneaking in there.
Because there are quite a few, actually.
Oh, yeah. So think of this as like a crash course. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 101 will cover the main characters, the plot, the whole deal.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's start with our main man, Charlie Bucket. He's living in, well, not the best situation. Tiny house, parents, 4 grandparents, no money, like really tough. What stands out to you about Charlie right from the start?
He's just so genuinely good, especially given how rough things are for him.
He's not complaining.
Never. He's thankful for every little thing. That one square of chocolate he gets is the best thing ever. And his dream of seeing inside Wonka's factory, I mean, who hasn't wanted to do that?
That's everyone's dream.
Exactly. And it's right there in his town, So when he finally wins that golden ticket, it feels like this huge victory, hope winning out over hardship,
It's a classic underdog story.
For sure. And then there's Willy Wonka himself. Eccentric doesn't even begin to describe him. He's the ultimate creative weirdo.
Oh, absolutely. And his factory is the ultimate expression of that. Right?
Yeah, it's totally off the wall. But I think it's crucial to understand why the factory was closed for so long. Wonka got burned by people stealing his ideas.
Yeah, that's not cool.
So he shuts everything down, goes into hiding. And the golden ticket contest, that was his way of getting back out there, but also finding someone, someone he could trust to take over someday.
Like an heir to his chocolate empire.
Exactly. Wonka's personality, the whole mystery surrounding him in the factory, that's what makes the story so captivating.
Speaking of captivating, let's talk about those golden ticket winners. They're quite a group.
To say the least.
Starting with Augustus Gloop. The kid's got a serious appetite.
Appetite's an understatement. Augustus is all about greed. Zero self-control when it comes to food.
And that's what gets him in trouble.
Oh, yeah, that Chocolate River incident, it's a pretty clear message about the dangers of overindulgence.
Then we've got Veruca Salt. I mean, the name kind of says it all.
Spoiled rotten, Veruca expects to get everything she wants exactly when she wants it.
And when she doesn't, watch out.
Major tantrum. And those squirrels in the nut sorting room, they weren't having it. Decided she was a bad nut, and down the garbage chute she went.
Ouch. All right, how about Violet Beauregard? Obsessed with gum, right?
Chewing gum was her life, always trying to break records. And even when Wonka tells her straight up, don't mess with that experimental gum, what does she do?
Yeah, we know how that turned out.
Turns into a giant blueberry. Like a really obvious metaphor, right?
Right.
Don't ignore good advice, especially when it comes from Willy Wonka.
And last but not least, we have Mike TV. The kid's glued to the TV screen.
TV, video games, you name it, technology's got him hooked. So naturally, when Wonka shows them the television chocolate, he's got to be the first one to try it.
And he shrinks?
Shrinks down to nothing. It's almost like Dahl was warning us about too much screen time, even back then.
It's pretty wild when you think about it. The way those kids all get their comeuppance, it's like their worst qualities lead to their downfall.
Yeah, it's very deliberate. Each kid's exit is tied directly to their biggest flaw. It's like these little morality plays going on within the story. Don't be greedy. Don't be spoiled. Think before you act.
Exactly. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've got some good hearts in this story, too, like Grandpa Joe. That guy's 96 and a half, and he's got more energy than most teenagers.
He's just so full of life, And those stories he tells about Wonka, you can tell he's held on to that childlike wonder. When Charlie finds the golden ticket, he's just as excited as Charlie is.
I love that scene.
And it's like that excitement gives him a new lease on life. He practically jumps out of bed to go on the tour with Charlie.
That bond between them is so special. It reminds us how important family is.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the Oompa Loompas. Those little guys are iconic.
With their orange skin and the crazy hair. Totally. And those songs they sing.
Oh, yeah, the songs. They're not just there for fun, though. They always tie back to the lesson of whatever just happened, like little moral reminders.
It's brilliant. So we've got the characters down. Now let's walk through the actual story. It all starts with that big announcement about the golden tickets.
Worldwide pandemonium. 5 golden tickets hidden in Wonka bars. People go crazy trying to find them.
I mean, who wouldn't? A tour of the most secretive, magical factory in the world, plus a lifetime supply of chocolate. Sign me up.
It really captures that feeling of like, anything's possible.
Totally. And then we see those first 4 tickets go to, well, let's just say, not the most deserving kids, but Charlie. He's different. He's poor, so even getting a Wonka bar is a huge deal for him. It's his birthday present.
It really highlights the contrast, doesn't it? These other kids are spoiled, getting chocolate all the time. For Charlie, it's a once-a-year treat. And the fact that he finds the last ticket, it feels like fate, you know?
Yeah, but he was meant to find it.
Exactly. He finds $1, buys the bar, and boom, there it is. Golden ticket. Grandpa Joe practically loses his mind with excitement, and who can blame him?
I love that. Okay, so the next day, the tour begins. And it's everything you'd imagine and more. Chocolate waterfalls, edible flowers, crazy inventions. It's sensory overload in the best way possible.
The factory itself is like a character, isn't it? It reflects Wonka's wild imagination.
Absolutely. But as the tour goes on, it also becomes this test. Each room they enter, it's like a challenge. And each of those kids, with their bad behavior, they fail the test.
It's almost like the factory has a mind of its own, isn't it?
Totally. Like,
Yeah.
it's designed to weed out the bad seeds. Augustus falls into the chocolate river because he can't control his eating. Veruca gets tossed down the garbage chute because she throws a fit.
Violet's obsession with gum turns her into a blueberry. And Mike, well, he's too obsessed with television, so he ends up shrunk.
And through it all, Charlie's just being his good, polite self. He follows the rules, appreciates everything.
He passes the test, and that's why he wins in the end, right? Because Wonka wasn't just looking for someone to eat his candy, he was looking for someone to carry on his legacy.
Someone worthy of the chocolate factory.
Exactly. And when he reveals that Charlie's won the whole thing, that moment is just pure magic.
And not only does Charlie get the factory, but his whole family gets to live there with him. It shows what's really important. Family and being a good person.
Absolutely. That's one of the big themes, right? Kindness wins in the end. All those other kids, with their greed and bad manners, they lose out.
It's like a lesson for all of us. Be kind, be respectful, good things will happen.
Another big takeaway is the danger of greed and being spoiled. Augustus and Veruca are the prime examples of that. They want everything, and they want it now.
And they end up with nothing but trouble. The book's telling us, hey, appreciate what you have, be happy with what you've got.
Contentment over constant wanting.
Exactly. But there's also that theme of pure imagination, right? Wonka's factory is like the ultimate playground for creative thinking.
It's like a reminder to never stop dreaming, to always look for the wonder in things.
And then, of course, there's the importance of family. Charlie and his family, they might be poor, but they love each other deeply. That's what gets them through tough times.
And it's Charlie's love for his family that makes him turn down Wonka's initial offer, right? He doesn't want to leave them behind, even for the chocolate factory.
Which just makes Wonka respect him even more. And in the end, they all get to be together, which is perfect.
It's a beautiful message about what truly matters.
It is. And I think it's cool how the story contrasts Charlie's poverty with the other kids' wealth. Like, money doesn't buy happiness or make you a good person.
It's about your character, your actions, the way you treat people.
Absolutely. Okay, so if this deep dive has got you craving more stories like this, the source material actually gives us a whole bunch of other books to check out. And they even categorize them, which is super helpful.
They do. If you're a die-hard Roald Dahl fan, obviously you got to check out his other classics like James and the Giant Peach, Matilda, the BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox. All those have that signature doll weirdness and humor.
And if you're into, like, magical candy and wishes coming true, there's some cool suggestions, too.
Yeah, like The Nutcracker, which is a classic.
Yeah.
And then there's The Train of Dark Wonders, Alice Eclair, Spy Extraordinaire, which sounds pretty cool, and The Dragon with the Chocolate Heart.
And for anyone who really loved that theme of kindness winning over greed, there are some books that focus on that, too.
Stone Soup, Harriet's Halloween Candy, and of course, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is always a good one.
Love that one. And if the bond between Charlie and Grandpa Joe is what really got to you, there are books that explore those grandparent-grandchild relationships.
Right, like Grandpa Frank's Great Big Bucket List and My Name is Sunshine Simpson.
So many good options. And of course, we can't forget the man behind it all, Roald Dahl himself.
He was a pretty fascinating guy. Born in 1916, passed away in 1990, had a tough childhood, lost his dad and sister when he was
Oh,
young.
wow, didn't know that.
Yeah. And then he had this whole adventurous life, was a fighter pilot in World War II, even worked as a spy.
No way. That's incredible.
It is. And it said that he got a lot of his story ideas from the bedtime stories he used to tell his own kids.
Oh, that's so sweet. So beyond Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, what else did he write?
Oh, so many classics. We've got Matilda, the BFG, The Witches, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Twits, just to name a few.
I love all of those.
And here's a fun fact. He was a really tall guy, like 6'6", and his favorite candy, chocolate and gobstoppers.
Makes sense.
Right. And his impact on literature is huge. His books have been translated into, like, 60 languages, sold millions and millions of copies. He's one of the most famous children's authors ever.
It's amazing how one person can create so much magic. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive, it's clear that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is more than just a fun kid's book. It's got these deep messages about kindness, about the dangers of greed, about using your imagination, and the importance of family.
And about how true worth comes from your character, not from your possessions.
Right, so here's a final thought for you to chew on. Think about your own life, or even the world in general. Where do you see these same ideas playing out? Are there chocolate factories out there where being a good person, having strong values, actually leads to success and happiness? It's something to think about. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was a pleasure.
See you next time.